Come to the front of your mat and find your feet inner hip bone distance apart and parallel. And then take a moment to lift and spread your toes and then root them down. And I like to give my knees a little bend and engage the glutes a little bit to push, because then I feel just a little bit more like I'm rooting and pressing versus just setting my feet. Okay, turn palms forward, lift shoulders up and back. And then you can close your eyes here if you would like to. And as you deepen your breath, as you take that longer, deeper inhale and exhale in and out of the nose, think about letting your breath travel more thoroughly, deeper into all the spaces in your body. Yes, your lungs are in a particular place, but you have breath helpers. So take a longer, deeper breath. In this video, we're setting an intention of compassion, showing ourselves a lot of care, even as we might do a little bit of work. When you're ready to, you can inhale, stretch your arms up overhead. Exhale, soft through the knees. Remember, compassion here. Fold over your legs. And here's where you might put your hands on blocks or on a chair. Inhale and lengthen part way. Bring your hands up above your knees, and your knees are still a little bit bent or a lot bent. Send your sitting bones up and back, heart forward. Exhale and fold. And now hands come to hips. As you press back on hips, lift up with shoulders and elbows, unhinge the hips and rise. Inhale, reach arms wide and up overhead. And now exhale, cactus the arms. Press your elbows back. Think of controlling the flaring ribs a little bit, and then lift your collarbones a little higher. Inhale, sweep arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge from the hips and fold. Inhale, lengthen part way. Exhale and fold. And now we're going to plant fingertips on blocks or the floor and step the right foot back into your lunge. Center with your hips, extend your ribs and collarbones further forward, and take a full big breath. And now let's bring back knee to the ground. Inhale, lift up with your torso, rising up with your chest and your heart to bend your elbows and cactus once again, opening through the chest. Exhaling, hands come down to the front of your mat. We're setting the right hand on the floor or on a block or another prop. Left hand to your knee to take your spinal twist, finding a little bit more of that movement through the spine. Tone your belly, tone your ribs, and as you twist, think of twisting from the ribs. The thoracic spine is your helper here. Exhale, both hands come down to the front of your mat. Lift your back knee and step forward. Next exhale, left foot steps back. Pause and center with your hips. Extend further with your ribs, your collarbones, your crown. Bend a little deeper into your front knee. And now bringing back knee to the ground. Inhale, lift your heart up, lift your arms up, hold opposite elbows this time, and do just a little side to side sway to help lengthen from hip to armpit. And then release your arms down. Take left hand to your block or the floor on the edge of your mat, right hand to your knee, and start to turn your belly and your heart to the right side. Put both shoulder blades on your back and push with your left hand to help find that lift through your ribs. Exhale, both hands come down to the front of your mat. And now set your hands and step all the way back into a downward facing dog pose. Take a moment here for a full deep breath. And if hands and knees is a better place for you today, feel free to take that. Otherwise, you're rooting with your palms, rotating elbow pits forward. So you're getting that external upper arm bone rotation. And then push from your back muscles out through your hands, lift your sitting bones. Now inhale, come forward to a plank. Use knees on the ground, and remember, you always have the option to take a child's pose instead, but keep that rotation of elbow pits forward and the push into the ground where you expand into the upper back. We have about 3 more deep breaths right here, holding your plank pose, keeping some lift through the low belly and ribs. Then exhale, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Now walk your way forward, coming into your forward fold. Take as many steps to get there as your body would like, as you would like. Hands on blocks or the floor, your choice. Take an inhale and lengthen part way. This time I have my hands at my shins, but you can come up higher if that helps you lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold over your legs. Hands to hips. Press back on hips, lift up through shoulders and elbows. Unhinge the hips and rise, coming all the way back upright to your standing position. From here, find your strap. And as you find your strap, you're going to take it to an unraveled place. You can also use a belt. You can use a roll of blanket. You can use your jacket, something that doesn't have any give. Okay, so now out in front of you with your arms, hands, palms down to start with, and you have a wider than your shoulders here for a distance. And then you're going to turn your palms in. This is our external upper arm bone rotation. So as you do that, thumbs are up and arms are straight, but then plug your shoulder blades in, pull them onto your back. Root down through your feet, inhale, lift your arms up. Take a look and make sure your hands are still facing each other. Pull against the strap, plug your shoulder blades in, pull your belly in, and then take a couple of side stretches here. Then as you come back to center, we're going to take right elbow bent. We're just kidding, right arm straight, left elbow bent, and we want about a 90-degree angle there with our left elbow. And you're pulling against the strap. My strap is behind my head, but if your strap needs to be on top of your head or in front of your head, that's fine too, okay? If it's behind your head, then you have something to push your head back into. Now, push through your feet, tone through your core, move your left elbow back in space, and then plug your left shoulder blade in. Now we're trying to peel our ribs away. So you have left elbow back and then ribs moving forward. Inhale, arms lift, and exhale, bend the other way. So right elbow is bent, left arm is straight. Elbow is back in space, plug your right shoulder blade in and peel your right ribs away. Inhale, both arms lift. Exhale, bend your elbows, and you might bring your strap more toward your shoulders. Keep control with your flaring ribs. Inhale, arms lift, and then exhale, release your strap down to the ground. Pause for a moment, turn your palms forward, eyes can be opened or closed, your choice. Take a deep breath. Inhale, stretch arms up. Exhale, hinge from the hips and fold. Inhale and lengthen part way. Exhale and fold. Planting fingertips, you're stepping right foot back into your lunge. And this time we'll keep our knee lifted, but we're going to turn and plant your back heel. So we have some warrior two legs. So push through your feet and lift up into your warrior two, where your hips are facing the right side. Reach your arms. Take a full big breath. You're bending into your front knee and opening your knee more toward the center of your foot. And now, left elbow to your knee, right arm reaches over the ear. And then you're going to turn your right palm to the right side and then bend your elbow so you have that cactus. Move your elbow further back in space as you turn your torso a little more open, tone through your low belly and ribs. Exhale, both hands come down to the front of your mat. Tuck your back toes and step forward. Next exhale, step left foot back into your lunge. Turn and plant your back heel so your foot's parallel-ish to the back of your mat. Push through your feet and lift your torso up into your warrior two. As you aim your hips toward the left side, your front knee is opening. And then I want you to notice if you are up and down, straight up and down here with your hips, or if you're doing a little hip tilt, okay? So try to come to that up and down place where your torso isn't leaning. Reach your arms, open the knee up and bend it. Take a full big breath. Exhale, elbow to your front knee. Top arm reaches to start with. Take a big breath here. As you stay bent into your front knee and opening, so you have that big hip opening going on, now we'll open the shoulders. Palm turns to the left side on your top hand. Bend your elbow, and then move your elbow back as you move your shoulder more open. Push your bottom elbow down. Take a big breath. Exhaling, both hands come down to the front of your mat and tuck your back toes to step forward. Take an inhale and lengthen part way. Exhale, fold over your legs. Hands to hips, press back on hips, lift up through shoulders and elbows, unhinge the hips and rise. And then as you come up to your standing position, we're gonna take one balancing pose before we come down to the floor for some resting poses. So as you balance onto your left foot, you can always be against a wall. You can have your right foot stay as your kickstand. You can always put a block underneath your right foot if you want, if you would like to. We're coming into our tree pose. So you're turning right toes out, knee out. And then as you squeeze your left glute, push into the ground to stand taller, lift your heart. Now, as you bring right foot wherever it needs to be on your leg, it can be up above your knee, down below your knee, or it can be a kickstand. All of those things are possible. I'm gonna go for below the knee today myself. Push foot into leg, leg into foot if your foot's on your leg. Otherwise, hug your legs in. Now open the right knee up a little bit more. Use your right fingertips to help you. Open your left shoulder up with your fingers, lifting up and opening. So we now have a hip opening and a shoulder opening. From that place, gratitude arms. Palms are up, elbows are hugging in, and we're rotating to find more expansion through the front of the chest. Take a big breath. Exhaling, foot back down, arms back down. And then we're finding our balance onto our right foot. Turning left toes sideways. And once again, you can keep your toes on the ground. You can bring them closer, further away, or you can set your foot on the side of your leg. You choose. Wherever that is, you're hugging in with the muscles of your leg. So if your foot is on your leg, then you're pressing foot into leg. Then open, left knee up, right shoulder up. Find that control through your core as you push from your standing glute. Now, elbows hug in by your sides. Find that gratitude arms place, or you can stay, helping yourself to open if you want to. Take a big deep breath. Big opening through your heart. Exhale, foot down, arms down. Pause for a moment and reset your feet. Inner hip distance apart and parallel. Lift and spread your toes and then root them down. Inhale, stretch up overhead. Exhale, hinge from the hips and fold. Inhale, lengthen part way. Exhale and fold. Plant hands, step all the way back into a hands and knees position. And here is where you can set a blanket underneath your knees if you would like to. And then we're gonna take just a couple rounds of a cat and cow and some other movements through the spine. So root with your hands, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Find that rotation of elbow pits forward and push. And now tilt sitting bones up, open and expand through the heart. Exhale, tilt sitting bones down, round upward through your thoracic spine. Inhale, belly down, heart open. Exhale, round upward. And now back to a neutral place. Take just a couple of side to side sways through hips and shoulders. And we're not moving with our breath per se, but I want you to keep a slow, steady breath. And now back to center, and we'll settle hips back toward heels. Arms are reaching as far forward as your body could use. Head is settling on the ground or on a prop. And in your child's pose, you're always welcome to set a pillow or a roll of blanket between your calves and your thighs to stop that deep hip flexion and knee flexion from happening quite so much. Take one more full breath right here. And then gently use your hands to support you to lift yourself back upright. And we're gonna come down onto our seat. And then we're gonna make our way all the way onto our backs. And be sure you have props handy. So we'll take a moment on our back to do a little bit more stretching. And one of the stretches is with our strap. So whatever you happen to be using, and remember it can be a jacket, it can be a belt, it can be a rolled up towel, or if you happen to have a yoga strap, great. So now I'm drawing right knee into chest, lassoing the ball of my right foot and lengthening right leg upward. You can keep left knee bent if you want to, or you can lengthen it out straight. From this place, I'm holding the strap with my left hand and using my right thumb into my hip crease to give a push. Then reaching through heels on both legs. Tilt your sitting bones down just a little bit and take a big breath into your low back. Think of working your right leg as straight as it can be without locking. You're going to take one more deep breath right here. And then bend your knee into your chest. You can take the strap off of your foot, give your knee a hug. And then switch sides. Draw left knee in, right foot is to the ground. And then extend right foot with the ball of your foot lassoed with the strap. Again, right knee can stay bent or lengthen your leg out. And then you're holding the strap with your right hand, left thumb into your hip crease, and that's giving your hip a push. It's lengthening your side a little bit, leveling your hips out a little bit. Now give both feet a flex. Work your leg as straight as it can be without locking your knee joint. And you're tilting sitting bones down a little bit. Take a big breath. Then bend your knee. Draw it in toward your chest. Give it a little hug. And then let yourself come all the way down to rest. Prop with your bolster if you want to. That can go underneath your legs. Set your blanket over the top of you if you would like to. And just take a few moments here to let your body settle and let your mind settle. And now take a deeper breath. Wrap your arms around yourself. Give yourself a hug and take another full deep breath. Then bend your knees and roll over to your side and pause. Take another full breath here, checking in with yourself. And then push into the ground. Bring yourself back upright, coming to a seated position. Finding where it feels the best on your hips and low back to sit. You might set a blanket or a pillow underneath your hips. And now bring hands to connect at heart center. Eyes opened or closed, your choice. Take a long, slow inhale and exhale as you tune into your body. Set an intention to keep showing up for yourself with compassion for the rest of your day. Have a beautiful day. Namaste. Thanks, everybody.